Fan Talk Radio Network.
Hi, this is Cal Ripken Jr., and you're listening to Talking Sports with Randy Harris.
Hi, we are back coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility. All right, one thing that I got to clear up, a post that I put up, and some people have misunderstood.
Okay.
Which I guess I understand the misunderstanding. But I said a new open is coming to Knockout Radio.
Yes.
And people have been applying.
Yeah, a line.
The problem is the open is the open to the show. I'm changing the open to the show.
Oh, I thought it was my position.
No, you've already been filled.
Oh, I keep moving down.
No, you got filled weeks ago.
Oh, but every time there's an extra chair, so I just sit down.
Right. So just to clear it up, and you know, I haven't been ignoring everybody. We are getting a new open to the show by Rebel, which is Jimmy Denning and the guys.
Okay.
You know, they were once in Tenors of Rock.
Yeah.
We talked about it last week. We're going to get a new open segments for hour number 1, hour number 2, hour number 3, and the 4th hour that is coming. So yes, that is what the open meant. The replacement, yeah, Mike replaced you. So Mike is here, and is replace a strong word?
It's a great word.
Yeah, everybody likes it so far.
But hold on. Are you going to put his name in the title of this open?
No.
So it's still going to be all about you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, sorry, Mike.
That's okay.
I've been working on this guy for years.
First of all, my name is not in the open of Knockout Radio. Okay, when we occasionally run the liners of Talking Sports, which is 15, 20 years old, which they still need to be run because you haven't updated or gotten any other quality liners other than Terry Bollea.
America.
So let's talk about last week.
Okay.
Las Vegas International Fight Week. And what we're going to do is we're going to start on the Thursday. Wednesday was the media day. We don't need to touch base on that. Fantastic interviews that we did. We'll talk about that on the back end. Thursday was the Hall of Fame. I think that's all we did on Thursday, right? Oh, no, we interviewed Valerie Bertinelli first. We did the Power Slap weigh-in. Packed for Paige Van Zandt, you know, for her weigh-in. Power Slap, are you up on it? Do you know much about it?
I know a little bit about it. I haven't watched anything. I haven't watched one of them. I've seen clips, obviously, and I'm happy for Dana. You know, Dana's the greatest promoter in the world. He really is. He had a lot of criticism for Slap too, because we live in a world of, and I hate to use this, I'm not going to say it. We live in a world of very delicate people now. So slapping is, you know, one would think that being an Ultimate Fighter, being a an MMA fighter would be worse than getting slapped in the head. But no, this is like the new thing that everybody can complain about.
And let me jump in. People hate Dana.
Yeah, they hate anybody who's successful.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that's
no. We all hate you too.
I know.
I know. But
I
see,
feel it.
the only difference between the hate for Dana and Mike just said they hate successful people, and the hate for you, you know, just like you said before, you have to have hate and good.
But please tell me what your measure of success is. Is it because he has money? Like, what's Dana's success level to show, okay, well, he's successful in this.
Well, he changed the sport world forever.
It's what Dana did for mixed martial arts, combat.
And for sports.
You know, and for sports.
Right. And for everything, I mean, and for women in MMA. You know, there are more people that buy headlining women fights than go to women's soccer games, NBA games.
Not anymore.
Well, because
things have changed.
Yeah, not so much, though.
Yeah, it's impressive what Caitlin Clark has done.
I agree.
Right, I agree. However, you can still go to a New York Liberty game and it's dead.
Yeah. Sure.
It's not
you can sit on the court.
Yeah.
On the bench.
Right.
But
with the team.
Today.
Right.
Yes.
But wasn't it more about the NCAA? I mean, wasn't it more that the collegiate program built her up so much? I mean, now
she's a phenomenal athlete. She's a once-in-a-lifetime athlete.
Do they need another superstar come out of the NCAA this year to kind of keep that fire momentum going?
Yeah, of course. Just like Ronda Rousey needed Miesha Tate and Miesha Tate needed Holly Holm. You know, there's always got to be somebody to come up. You got to create a market. You know, and that's one of the things that Dana always said about women's MMA. It wasn't deep enough. Remember, it wasn't deep enough, but it's gotten pretty deep.
It's gotten there. It wasn't deep enough when Ronda was there either. Right. You know, and we've talked about that, you know, as well. So Thursday, I do want to talk about Hall of Fame. A great cast, a great crew. Had the opportunity to. It's always cool and you may not know this, anybody that's ever listened to the show or been involved, I hate the word legend. I hate the word icon. Everybody's a legend when they're not. Everybody's an icon and they're not even a legend or whatever. But at the Hall of Fame red carpet, and Vanderlei walks by and kind of hugs me, and it's Vanderlei.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just a good fighter. It's Vanderlei. So I'll tell you a funny story. I've told this before. So Vanderlei put a seminar on for all the media. And we all went to his gym in Vegas. And I was fortunate enough to kind of be on the mat where Vanderlei was standing. So he turned to me to kind of coach me. He had all his coaches there. It took him 45 minutes to teach me how to do something. Partly because I'm stupid. And the other part because I played stupid.
Right.
Well, I don't want Vanderlei to walk away and go to somebody else. No, show me the armbar or the rear naked or whatever. Vanderlei, Frankie Edgar. The fight went in, and I do want to ask you your opinion as being one of the experts out there. When a fighter goes in, and it was Chael Sonnen this year going in with Anderson Silva, and you talked about Anderson earlier, do you consider Anderson and Chael Hall of Famers?
I consider Anderson a Hall of Famer. I consider Chael a Hall of Famer for kind of like the trailblazing he did. You know, he kind of created the Conor McGregor. You know what I mean? He was the first Conor McGregor. You can't deny that. He was the best talker, the best promoter. I mean, and he took it from Roddy Piper, which he always gives credit for.
Sure.
Like he
did Ronda.
Right. So he made those sells, and he really took the WWE model for promotion and brought it into MMA. He was the first one to really do it well. But you know, I think Chael is a Hall of Famer in that he had those great fights with Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva I think he's hands down a no-brainer Hall of Fame.
Oh, for sure. For sure. But, you know, when they added this Hall of Fame, and then they added the Pioneer Wing,
Right.
and then they added the Fight Wing, and I'm trying to get
And the
MMA
Modern
media in the Modern Wing, and I'm discussing with MMA media, and I do it all the time, and Amy and all the ones that I do respect, and there's some that I don't, but the ones that I do, they're like, oh, no, they're Hall of Famers. And I try to tell them, if you go to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, there's a football behind the glass thrown by whoever you want to say that doesn't make them a Hall of Famer. That ball had something to do with a legacy, but whoever threw that ball, whoever caught that ball, whoever used that bat or glove. So, in my opinion, Chael Sonnen and Anderson Silva's fight is in the Fight Wing of the Hall of Fame. They're not Hall of Famers. Two of my closest friends. I love Frank Trigg. I was involved, as you were back in the day, I was involved with Frank Trigg, Matt Hughes, and I had love for both of them.
Yeah.
Frank Trigg's not a Hall of Famer. That fight is my favorite fight of all time. That fight is in the Fight Wing. Clay Guida, one of my closest friends. He's not a Hall of Famer. So people are like, you don't know what you're talking about. That fight is in the Fight Wing of the Hall of Fame.
Okay, but are you splitting hairs? Because
Not at all.
All right. But if I'm Clay Guida, or if I'm Mike Straka and I fought Frankie Edgar and we had this epic fight and it went into the Fight Wing, I would say I'm in the UFC Hall of Fame.
You would say that,
Yeah.
as does Frank Trigg, as does Clay Guida,
Right.
as does everybody. But to me,
But I am. I'm part of that fight.
Well, wait a second.
the fight's in the Hall of Fame.
Is Anderson Silva?
But it's his fight.
Well, but is Anderson Silva in your Hall of Fame because of the asterisk with the doping and the cheating? Like, does it tarnish it? Like, I mean, Pete Rose.
Not for me.
No, it doesn't tarnish it.
MLB.
It doesn't tarnish it for me.
Steroids and all that.
Doesn't tarnish it for
Really?
me. Yeah.
That's a whole other topic.
Really?
Yeah.
Lance Armstrong a Hall of Famer?
No.
No, it's not a sport. He didn't do anything in a
Oh my God! You couldn't do a site. You couldn't last one stage in the Tour de France at any stage of your life. You know how hard that is.
Whatever. No.
Yeah,
It's the
it's so
hardest
hard.
sport.
The best one had to dope.
Oh.
Had to blood dope.
Right.
All of them did.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, no. Anderson Silva is a Hall of Famer.
Can't perform that high a level and recover that optimally, that fast,
Without help.
that grueling. It's the EPO that really made him a cheater. I mean,
So what's your point?
Right. Do you have one?
I'm just saying, like, does the fact that the guys use steroids, they performance-enhancing drugs, that doesn't tarnish your state
No.
of their Hall of Fame
No.
status?
It's not,
It should.
but it's not my Hall of Fame.
It's not a level playing field at that point.
First of all, you don't know who did and who didn't in any
We know
sport,
that
in any
Anderson Silva
life.
was popped.
No, I understand that. No, I understand that.
Gracie.
Who's got
list goes on and
the
on.
home run record in MLB?
Barry Bonds.
Yeah. Is he your Hall of Famer?
He should be out.
Is he your Hall of Famer?
Yeah, he's in the.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, he cheated.
In your Hall of Fame.
Yeah, in mine, because in MLBs he's not. But in the UFCs, they don't say if you tested positive. If that's a bylaw
Now,
to be in the Hall of Fame, then they shouldn't be in.
Now, Mike, you don't know a lot about me probably.
Thank God. You're happy about that.
But I was a professional bodybuilder in natural bodybuilding. Anthony Smith just received a 50 drug test award jacket. It looks like a Letterman jacket from high school, if you remember those. And he got awarded from USADA for the UFC for being a clean fighter. See, that's honorable. Like, that's respectable, because even when you're natural, you're still competing against people who are cheating.
Not disagreeing.
And you're still beating them.
Not disagreeing.
That's the true flex.
Not disagreeing with that.
Yeah.
But if it's not in the rules of whatever Hall of Fame, then yeah. Now, if the rules state if you test positive, you will never be eligible for the Hall of Fame, the awards, or whatever, then no, then they're not. But that's not a bylaw of the UFC.
All right, we're getting off topic. You asked me if a fight that's in the Hall of Fame fight wing denotes a Hall of Fame induction for that fighter.
Correct.
Well, clearly it doesn't. However, in my opinion, that person is in the Hall of Fame. That's my opinion.
Okay. No.
Because, if you, like, say, for instance, Frankie and Gray's fight, the second fight that went to a draw, that was a legendary fight.
Absolutely.
Right? I think Gray Maynard's a Hall of Famer for that fight being in there.
Again, okay, and again, we're going to agree to disagree, which all the other media does with me.
I think you're splitting hairs a little bit, because first of all,
it was nice to meet you. Thanks for coming through.
And here's why, though. Who votes for the UFC Hall of Fame?
Dana and his team.
Right.
Right.
Okay, so therein, in and of itself, doesn't make it a true Hall of Fame.
Oh, right. I understand.
So you're splitting hairs.
Well, I just think, like that word legend.
Like, if members of the media were the ones to vote on who gets into the Hall of Fame, then of course then I could argue. Then you have an argument about what you're saying about the fights. But since Dana is arbitrarily putting people in the Hall of Fame, I think your point is moot.
It's like being called a legend or an icon of a decent player, of a decent athlete. Saying somebody, and I don't follow baseball much anymore, but, a good, 225 batting average, and calling him a legend.
Okay, Chael Sonnen was never a champion.
Right.
But he's a legend.
He's a legend.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's not a Hall of Famer.
Correct.
And all I have always said, and all I'll continue to say, is, in my opinion, if the fight goes in the fight wing, that's what it is. The fight is in the Hall of Fame. The fight is in. But to me, just like somebody being called a legend is disrespectful to a legend, so saying that Chael, and I love Chael. Chael's awesome. I mean, we're friends. The whole Frank Trigg.
Yeah.
We talk out on birthdays and stuff. But to say Frank Trigg's a Hall of Famer, comparing him to a Hoist Gracie, to a Matt Hughes, to a, and they're not on the same, they didn't have the